to the Health Chat. I'm your host, Vicky Solaritis, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Rick Hay. Hi, Rick.
Hey, hello, Vicky.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, and 2023 for me has certainly been a bit of a rocky old start, I have to say.
Yeah, you've had COVID, right?
Yeah, for the very first time, and then experiencing COVID brain fog, which when you read about it, you think really isn't much of a thing until you experience it, and it is a thing, yeah.
It is.
But mind you, a lot of people say I had COVID brain fog before I had COVID brain fog. So this is just another layer of brain fog, really. But anyway.
Well, today we wanted to talk about some new products that have arrived to the Oborne warehouse. And also with some of the products, we've got new ingredients that maybe you haven't heard of before, because I certainly didn't. And we thought this would be a great way to showcase these new ingredients as well as these new products. And I thought maybe, Rick, you could go first.
Well, you know what? I'm going to start because, Vicky, after I had COVID and then recovered a little bit, as I was saying, I got that brain fog, and then I suffered some digestive discomfort. So I wanted to start with a product that I've actually used, and one that is by Roogenic, which is called Gut Restore powder. Now it's got the usual, some usual Australian ingredients that you'd expect. It's got kakadu plum, lemon myrtle, finger lime in there, but it's all the other cofactors in there that really did help my gut, and I think can help everyone, because when you get stressed or whether you're recovering from an illness, often it is the gut that suffers first. So there's green banana starch in there, there's glutamine, there's inulin, there's Saccharomyces, there's zinc carnosine, slippery elm, chamomile, cinnamon. I probably missed one or two, but you're getting the gist. If you're a qualified naturopath nutritionist, you'll understand that's a whack of really good gut support in the one powder. So I wanted to give that one a nod. First off, I wanted to give it a nod for the Australian ingredients, because I think Roogenic do them so well, and also those cofactors in there that should you have a problem with gut, whether it be as I said, recovering from a virus or recovering from something, or whether the gut just isn't your strong point, I think this is a very good place to start to help get it back in shape.
And so what did you notice once you took it? What was some of the benefits?
Well, the good thing was I just felt a bit soothed. I was having to sit up at night time from some reflux and just generally feeling pretty lousy. And within about, 2 hours, I was able to lay down further than I had been able to for several nights. And the next morning, I actually felt like my stomach was in recovery, and I've been on it. I'm going to be taking this for the rest of the month. So it was nice. It was not immediate as in 5 minutes, but it did happen within the first couple of hours.
Well, that's really good to hear, because I'm actually going to focus on a gut product too, slightly different to yours. And it's good to see that those sort of ingredients are helping. Now, I'm going to focus on a new Melrose product. Now, for those that probably heard a health chat that I did later last year, I interviewed the CEO of Melrose, Nathan Chong, and he spoke about some new and exciting products that were going to be coming out from Melrose. And they finally arrived in our warehouse, and they include something called the Collagen Daily Glow. So it's with hyaluronic acid, and so it's got pomegranate extract and astaxanthin in there. And those really are key nutrients for antioxidant effect, and they really do help to build the collagen, specifically designed for the face and the skin. So that's arrived. We also have the new broth bombs, which are pretty exciting, and they're kind of like the bath bombs, or a play on the bath bombs, but they're broth. There's also the new Magnesium Night formula, which has got magnesium as well as some synergistic herbs to help get us into that relaxation mode. And just as a side note, actually, magnesium is trending all over socials, and they're really pushing magnesium as one of the nutrients that seems to be lacking in, especially the younger groups. I'm talking teenagers right through to sort of young adult, 22, 23, 24. So they're pushing this a lot, and it does seem to be helping that age group with relaxing. So if they've got anxiety, they're really pushing the magnesium. So it's just a little side note. And also they've got a new Manuka honey range. But for me, even though they're wonderful and exciting, I'm going to focus focus on a more boring product, and it's their gut support. I tell you why I like this. So when I used to see patients who were over the age of 50, and they'd all say, oh, Vicky, I've just got this thing from the government has sent me a bowel sample test, and, I've got to do this. So obviously it's on the rise. There's a lot of concern with gut health. And this product is just perfect in so many ways, because it is a prebiotic formula with fermented organic phytonutrients like wheatgrass, chlorella, spirulina. The main ingredient in this product is something called, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, Inavea Pure Acacia. Have I said that properly? Inavea? I think it's Inavea. And I knew nothing about this, right? And I thought, I'm going to research. So it ticks a lot of boxes in that it's a premium, organic, sustainable ingredient. It preserves the natural resources. It supports local communities. It's a carbon neutral footprint product, and it comes from selected acacia trees. But one dose of this a day helps to stimulate healthy bacteria, which helps to contribute towards the short-chain fatty acid production, which is vital for that lower bowel health, that everything that happens in the colon. And for many years, I was trying to teach patients, you will need to take things like lentils, and you'll need to take globe artichoke. And guess what? This product has all those things. It has the fermented superfoods like lentils and mung beans. It also has the globe artichoke. And it also contains a strain of probiotic called Bacillus subtilis, DE111. And there is 1 billion colony forming units per serve. It also contains, just like your product, green banana flour, which is also a wonderful resistant starch, also helps with that short-chain fatty acid production. So finally, there is a product that seems to cover the bases when it comes to that type of lower bowel health concern, and it tastes so beautiful. It's sweetened with monk fruit. I really like this product, and I take it every day myself now because I'm approaching that sensitive age.
We know it's good to see now, isn't it? When you look back on gut health, because it's become so in vogue, but it always has been in the naturopathic world. It's good to see the gut products, the two that we just spoken about, becoming more evolved and becoming more like a total product that will give you more than just gut health. I mean, what you're talking about with the Melrose products, having the greens in there and the fermented foods, gives you all those other added benefits and, other nutrients that you might have had to buy several products separately to get, previously. So they're two very good products that we both tried, but they're also ticking a lot of the formulation boxes. Just going back to the Roogenic product, I really am a big fan of zinc carnosine, and was really glad to see that in there. So there's some smart formulation choices, and as you say, some good tasting, because the Roogenic one tasted good as well. Because it doesn't taste good, you're not going to get your therapeutic action happening, and not going to get repeat business either. So really has to taste and tick that box. Yeah.
I also did some research on that Inavea Pure Acacia. And this was really interesting, that a research was done on a group of healthy weight individuals, as well as those that were slightly overweight, but otherwise had no underlying health concerns. And they monitored their blood glucose and insulin levels over a 3-hour period post breakfast. And there was no spike in insulin, and there was no spike in glucose, which just proves how beneficial this particular ingredient is at stabilizing blood sugar, and therefore helps to maintain that feeling of fullness. So also great for people that might be doing a fast, great for people that just need that extra help in stabilizing their blood glucose levels.
May also just help with that mid-morning craving. If you get cravings mid-morning, take the dose then rather than earlier. Anything that can stabilize those blood sugar levels and get those cravings at bay, because the story with cravings, 1 minute you're fine, next minute you got them, and then half a pack of biscuits is gone, and then all that good work you've done in the week is out the window in 30 seconds. Yeah.
True. So what else do you have there?
So Vicky, I know before we did this podcast, I promised I wouldn't talk about magnesium again. But as you said, it is very much on trend. I did need to talk just though about something because it's a Herbs of Gold product. It's a chewable magnesium, and it's just this one here. It too tastes fine, and it's convenient for those people who, I don't know, for some people a powder just isn't their thing, and I get it. And this sort of can be treated as a little sweet. Again, helps you if you just want that little bit of a sweet taste first thing in the morning. But it's got about 150 milligrams of elemental magnesium. It's got magnesium citrate, magnesium amino acid chelate in there together. So all the things that we've spoken about magnesium being useful for, whether that be energy production, nervous system support, whether it be the many enzymatic reactions throughout the body that you need it for, this will deliver. And I think it particularly if you are not hydrating enough during the day, or again, if you're recovering as I am, getting the electrolytes into your body is pretty important, and this will help towards that. So again, on a personal note, I've been taking them just to give me that bit of a boost in the morning. But all I find, and like you're talking with your clinical practice, when I used to give people magnesium in the morning for energy, they'd often find that they'd sleep better at night as well. So this is a product that should afford some benefits both to you during the day and then again at night. So, and that dose you can take 2 a day, which takes you up to about 300 milligrams. So yeah, pretty good. Another impressive one. Another one that tastes nice.
You know what I like? I like that it's chewable. You can take it to the gym. You could,
Yeah.
it's easy to transport and consume.
And you can imagine my cupboard is full of stuff. I love the powders, I take them, but some days I don't feel like a powder. Some days I want something very quick. And yeah, like you're saying, give yourself a bit of energy at the gym, have that, pop a coenzyme Q10, have some of your creatine, and you're off. Yeah.
Yeah. Another product that Locako have got, which, you know what, I'd never heard of before, which is the apple keto, and it's got something in there called Teacrine. And I'd never heard of Teacrine before, but I'm gonna research this. It also has BHB, which are the exogenous ketones, apple cider vinegar, garcinia, chromium, and some green coffee. Now, most of those we all know what they're for and how they're designed to help ketosis. They burn fat and they help you stay focused, and probably is a better alternative to coffee in the morning for people that are doing keto or an intermittent fast. And I'll talk about why. So Teacrine is actually an extract from a Chinese tea. And in China, I think the tea is called kucha. It has a similar effect physiologically to caffeine in its performance and the way it makes our cognition work. However, you don't get the jitters and you don't get that crash as you do with caffeine. And that's the benefit of Teacrine. It provides a really strong motivation boost, and it helps with optimizing energy through a workout. And I thought I'd just briefly talk about a research that was done on this. In the Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition, they published they did research on the effect of Teacrine. And what they found was that on groups of elite soccer players, male and female, made no difference, they checked their time to exhaustion and their cognition during play. And so they had a group where they didn't take any supplements. They had one where it was taking Teacrine and one Teacrine and caffeine. And the combination of Teacrine and caffeine had a 38% increase in time to exhaustion. So they outperformed Teacrine on its own. And this particular product does have caffeine in it as well. So they also noticed that there was no effect on heart rate. So that they didn't get the jitters, they didn't have that anxious feeling. So that's what I like about Teacrine. And finally, the BHB, which is a beta hydroxybutyrate. And we spoke about colon stuff before. So anyone that's familiar with colon health and the butyric acid, it comes from butter. So this hydroxybutyrate is a similar sort of compound, and it's made by the liver from fatty acids. And the whole objective of this is to help provide energy when not enough carbohydrates or sugars have been eaten. And that's what happens in the case of fasting or keto. So it's an essential carrier of energy from the liver to the peripheral tissues when the supply of glucose is too low for the body's needs. What it does, it helps the brain and nerves work better. It also helps provide energy to muscles to improve exercisability. But this is what I found for myself. So as I'm researching BHB, I found that it helps with dry eye syndrome, which I suffer from because I'm constantly at a screen, just forgetting to blink. Guess what? I don't have dry eye anymore.
Well, that's a win, isn't it?
It's a win. And also do intermittent fasting, and it helps with that.
Do you know what's amazing with all the ingredients that we have with our industry? You're always learning something new, and then you get a benefit of no longer having a dry eye. I mean, what do you want? I mean, that's a highlight of the whole podcast for me, Vicky.
So yeah, that I really like this product. I think it's an ingredient that will pop up a lot more. That's what I think. The Teacrine, I think, is going to pop up a lot more because of just the amount of research that's available.
So talking about some things that are new and staying with our theme, I wanted to go to a brand called Tonika, who've got a new NAC out, and the NAC that they have, the new one, is elderberry flavour. Again, also sticking with my theme of recovery, and we know about the relationship with NAC and glutathione production, and therefore to help the body with antioxidants, free radical scavenging, and immune defense and recovery. This is a very good product to consider. The elderberry taste I always find very pleasant, and this is no exception. I have been having it twice a day whilst I try to keep my glutathione levels up, and I find this is a nice way to do that. Lots of nice research out there around NAC and its its interaction with glutathione. So that was one that I put into my regime for my recovery, and that we have out actually this month. And then I'll stick with the amino acids, and I want to go to Healthwise. They have also some new sizes, and I think sometimes we stick to the ingredients, but sizes are important to people. They now have a 60-gram NAC out this month and a 60-gram methionine. Now, I've just raved on about the NAC from Tonika, and I'll just give the Healthwise one a little bit of a mention here. With this one, you have no fillers, no free flowing agents, and the NAC itself is pharmaceutical grade. So you're getting a product that is ticking all those boxes. And apart from that, I said that's come out is the sister product, which is methionine. Now, methionine is one of those amino acids that I always forget about when I studied. So before we did our little chat, I did a little bit of research, not as extensive as yours, Vicky, but I'm going to blame brain fog if people excuse me just saying there's research out there without telling you it. But the methionine, I wanted to go back to what it did and why we need it. Now, it's a very important amino acid for vegans and vegetarians because it's often sourced through animal products. But it will contribute to production of SAMe. It will help with brain function. It will also help with the L-cysteine production. So it's going to help with glutathione and is an important transporter of selenium, helps break down fatty acids, and also help with choline production and the transport of selenium and zinc. So it does a whole lot, which I must admit I had to brush up on because it's not that amino acid that I have used or use a lot. And I realize, I knew it, and you probably know, Vic, from back in your study days, I knew it from hair, skin, nails. I knew that it's been used for detox, but I didn't know so much about its transporter roles of selenium, and I'd forgotten a little bit about the breaking down of the fat. So if you're looking for something to add, if you're into compounding, which at the moment is massive around the country, it's one of the biggest trends, along with herbal, creating your own herbal mixes, so that people are getting their individual formulas that are tailor made. Those two products are a really nice way for you to go. Also, no surprise, I'm giving them a nod, because it wouldn't be the same if I didn't say in the podcast that I'm trying to choose the products there that are suitable for vegans or vegetarians, because that's also a market segment that I'm pretty passionate about, and that is a growing one. So I was really pleased to see those in 60 grams, and I've not yet, because we only just got them into the warehouse. I've not yet put the methionine into my mix, but I'm going to do it in my smoothies and see how I go, to see if that helps me again further with the recovery with the NAC, and see what difference that might make.
And I love that it's compoundable. That's so good, and you don't have to commit to such a large size, because you don't need that much.
Yeah, and I must say as well, I forgot to mention, or maybe I did, but there is a little bit of stuff out there around its role in brain function. So that's what I'm keen on. As I said at the beginning of the podcast, it really has been a wake-up call to me about how COVID fatigue and brain fog can impact you. It's so any little solution you have in your personal arsenal, or that you have for clients or for customers who come in, I think is a good one at the moment. So I think we're going to continue to see this throughout the year. And I was speaking to people today, they're on their third bout of COVID. They were telling me, however, that they found that the brain fog lessened with each one, which made me feel a little bit better. But as I said, anything we've got in our arsenal to help us. Look, I'm also trying to get more fresh juices into my diet, which is pretty basic. I'm trying to eat, less processed, because I realize my body is crying out for stuff. But like all of us, busy lifestyles, the virus lurking in the background, working over the last couple of years, supplementation at the moment, I think, is probably more important than it's been for a long time in order to get people over this. And we did also talk in other podcasts about the effects on mental health as well. So it's something I think we'll keep through the theme throughout the year to try to stay a bit focused on.
I do like the HealthWise brand, and you're right. COVID has affected people in many different ways, and for many women who have experienced COVID or post-COVID, and I'm talking like 3 months down the track, is hair loss. And HealthWise has got some really great amino acids that you can, compound to provide people, not just women, can be men as well, who have experienced hair loss. And that seems to be a growing area of concern. And speaking about hair loss, my final product that I'm excited by, that my daughters have decided to take from me, is the REGROW hydration mask, the hair growth mask. It's a lot bigger than I thought. So when I saw it in the Oracle, I didn't expect it to be so big. And it's quite a large sort of pump, right? It looks like that. Now, it was very attractive to my children. They grabbed it and they put it in their hair. And I've got to say, so I didn't know they took it, right? The little sneaks, they slept with it, and then they showered, and they've got beautiful curly hair, and their hair was amazing. And I said, oh my God, your curls today, they're so beautifully defined. They didn't even tell me what they used. They didn't say a word, because it wasn't in my ensuite. They took it and put it in their own bathroom, the little sneaks. They came home and I said, oh, your hair smells so nice. They go, oh yeah, we use that mask. I'm like, what mask? Oh, we use that pink pump mask. And I'm like, oh wow, your hair looks beautiful. So then I started to look at the ingredients, and I know that it has DHT blockers in there. So it's got caffeine, it's got saw palmetto. Okay, that's great. But I want to talk about 2 ingredients that I had not yet seen in hair care, and I think they will probably replace some of the fatty acids that we see in hair care at the moment. The first one is something called Marula oil, and the second one is Mongongo. And these fatty acids, Mongongo, sounds like
great.
Bongos, right? These are fatty acids that are derived from plants that are native to South Africa. Now, the first one that I'll talk about is the Marula extract, or the oil. And I investigated it because it's something that is designed to control frizziness without the weighing down, right? So it helps to control, which I noticed with my daughter's hair because it was beautiful and curly, like they were well-defined curls and there was no frizz, but it's particularly good for split ends. It's very, very hydrating, and this is the clincher for me. It helps with dandruff. Now, I don't suffer from dandruff, but I know probably stress exacerbates dandruff. So the way to use it is to put it on your hair, and this mask, you do put it on like your scalp and you comb it through, and it needs to be quite, I'm not going to say saturated, but it needs to be quite generous with the way that you apply it. And the more you apply it to your scalp, the better it is, because it's so hydrating for that region. So it nourishes the hair without weighing it down. And Mongongo oil is also highly conditioning, but its role is anti-inflammatory. So if you do have like some irritation in your scalp, it helps to reduce it. So again, it's really good for dandruff. But these two oils are particularly good against UV and sun rays. And that makes sense because the plants are located in South Africa where it's quite warm, and they have that natural protective quality. And so by applying it to your hair, you're protecting your hair as well. So what I like about this is that it's not using coconut oil. So it's non-comedogenic. It's not clogging the scalp. It's not clogging the hair. It's not weighing it down. It's making luscious and healthy, but at the same time promoting hair growth with the caffeine and the saw palmetto. And it's also got white cypress and coffee extract, again, that are the DHT blockers, as well as the stimulus for blood flow. I love this product. I think it's great.
I would love to have seen the girls rocking up to school looking like little movie stars, bless them.
Funnily enough, my eldest, she said, everyone asked what I did to my hair, and I showed them, and they've gone out and buy it. They went out and bought it. But this went viral on Instagram not too long ago, about a week ago. It was all over Instagram for women who were experiencing hair loss. Yeah, so it's a trending product.
Oh, wow. Gosh, like I said earlier in the podcast, we certainly have a lot of really good, not only new products, but those ingredients. They just keep popping up, don't they, as more research is done, and there's always something new to learn. You know, it's amazing how much is coming out, and when you think it's all done and dusted, here comes another new hero product that outdoes the last one. And I do hear you about that hair loss. I have heard, like you say, about a lot of women, particularly, you know, post COVID, the month after, and that finding that the hair loss is significant, and then the stress plays into that, and then you just get that sort of cycle. So anything you can get to break that is a good thing. So you're going to get not only the benefits of the appearance, but also the psychological benefits.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I hope that's been really insightful for a lot of people who have listened, so that you can understand more about the new ingredients and products that we have. Rick, thanks so much for sharing your personal experience with these products too.
No, thank you. And when we do one on ingredients again, I'll put a bit more post-brain fog effort into the research side of things. But certainly, yeah, I think we're onto something, and I want to keep sharing them.
Yeah, same here. Thanks a lot, Rick. Until next time, everyone, we'll be back.